Say all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Dash. Double honors into the elder apostles, a great millstone of the world. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Alright, we're Hebrew Israelites. We come out here every week through the strength and power of the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh. And it's through the Holy Spirit, in the name of his Son, Yahweh Shai, right, the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, when he was on the earth, he wasn't speaking English. He didn't have a Shakespearean accent. All right, he spoke Hebrew. Okay, and he was a so-called black man. If you saw him today, he'd be described as a dark-skinned man with an afro. All right, and as it describes him in the book of Revelation, Daniel. All right, that's what he looked like, a so-called black man. Right, but basically the world we're in right now is in the hands of the wicked, right? The devil himself, right? So everything's been changed, flipped upside down. So light is dark and dark is light. That's why, excuse the pun, that's why they got the so-called Jesus Christ is a white man, when he's really a dark skin, right? He got some kind
of, Isaiah 62:6 says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, who shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence.
Right, so the Heavenly Father's basically set up watchmen upon Jerusalem, Yerah Shalom, right? And what does that mean when I said when I said in Isaiah? It basically means that Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Right, it's not literally the place over there in Palestine today, or the state or the land of Israel as it's known today. But no, it's talking about the people, all right? Because Jerusalem in the book of Galatians, it tells you that we're basically a people before we're a place. So the Heavenly Father set up watchmen. So it's likened unto the pasture of his flock being sheep. He set up shepherds, sheepdog, to basically govern his pasture, to govern his flock, and to make mention of the Heavenly Father, right? And it's going to keep being done until the time of the end, all right? And that's the reason why we're making mention of the Heavenly Father, because we are in the last days, right? A lot of people, why do you think all this stuff in the world is happening, right? You got World War III on the cusp right now, with the state of Israel going at Iran, well, more so Lebanon, and creating a great level of tension between America and Iran. Right? It's biblical prophecy. In the book of Jeremiah, it says, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Right? The least of the flock. The flock is speaking of the Western world, right? Those that are on the side of America. Right? And the least of them is the state of Israel. They're the ones that's going to initiate the like Scrappy-Doo, with Scooby-Doo, let me at him. They're the ones that basically saying they want to fight, they want to do everything. But guess what? You ain't fit for the warfare. What you're walking into, you're used to bombing old ladies, little kids. That's why you feel like you feel like you can go to war with anyone, all right? But Iran is outclassed you. I'm saying it like an American. Iran has outclassed you, all right? They showed how weak your Iron Dome missile defense system is. Right, like I said, you're so used to missile system. Yeah, you're so used to.
You see that thing when the guy goes, it's not Iran and Iraq, it's Iran and Iraq. And then there's someone from the West, like a white brother, who cut the video and goes, it's not a kid. He said, you see that? It's hilarious. So people, like different people are memeing it, and in their way, it's not Iran and Iraq. It's Iran, and they broke it down and the guy goes, the person goes, it's not, it's not a I got something up to you as well, man. I like it, man.
But no.
You said it that way?
Yeah, they're so used to punching up little kids and old ladies, bullying people with no form of defense.
Throwing rocks at tanks.
That basically
getting their legs blown off, throwing rocks at tanks.
There you go. So that they just think like, oh yeah, we can do it all over the world. No, the Heavenly Father set you up, man. He's making it where you feel like that's what you can do. But it's gonna go to the world stage and you're gonna be exposed. Right? What you got?
Right, and it says, and give him no rest till he establish and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
Right, and give him no rest until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So basically, this is why we're doing it. We're basically ushering in the kingdom of heaven. We're talking about the things to come. Right? Why do you think in the Lord's Prayer in Matthew the 6th chapter, it opens with saying, "Our Father who art in heaven, holy be thy name, your kingdom come, thy will be done." All right? Why is Yahweh Shai speaking about the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven as a daily prayer? Right? Because that's basically what we're waiting for. Right? The kingdom of heaven being upon earth is a righteous rulership forevermore.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is what we're going to see, but it's going to be done. I just told you the book of second address. It tells you Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Alright? So in order for this kingdom to be done away with, you have to have it be taken out and a new kingdom be installed in its place. Right? But you know, a lot of people they don't want this to stop. Right? They want it to stay as it is right now. But guess what? The powers that be, they don't want it like this right now. They want it where they got total control.
Rhythm circuses.
There you go.
The World Cup.
Yeah.
All these distractions.
Distraction, because you're distracted. You just see Keir Starmer step down.
Yeah.
And down the street.
There's a new one, isn't it?
I'm not too sure. They said that there's talks of who's coming up next.
Is it Palmer?
Andy
Burnham.
Yeah, and
And
they
then
say
they
he's
had
got
the
a lot of
Burnham-
ties to.
Well, they had Andy Burnham. Is it Andy Burnham, right? They had him go up by, you know where the speaker in the parliament, the speaker, the main guy that sits in the high chair, and then he did a handshake, and then Truthers broke it down like what that is. It's like you saw that, innit?
Yeah.
They
I saw them breaking
they
it
had
down.
it. They did it blatantly in front so the media can snap it. You know the handshake. You know what I'm
But
saying?
this, you see, that's so a lot of people are none the wiser. Like they don't know. See, the World Cup's going on. It's a heat wave. You know, you're more worried about getting a cold glass of water than thinking about, yo, Keir Starmer just stepped down. What does that mean? All right? And it's a thing where you don't realize you've had a rotating door of leadership over here in the UK. Right? They ain't fulfilling their terms. They're basically in and out. And then no one's voting in these politicians. And it's the perfect setup. No one's voting them in. Right? They're just basically getting voted in throughout the party. And then they're going up as the head of the party, basically. Until you have an election, like, for example, with my man, the Asian geezer. He lost it. They didn't want him in there.
Which one was that one, bro? That was
one that said he's got loads.
Oh yeah.
You know, one that's quite rich. I forgot Richie Sunak.
Sunak, yeah.
He's quite rich. Yeah, so Richie,
right.
he's the only one that didn't get voted back in. All right, but the point being is that when you have all of these different leaders coming into power, they're basically initiating certain things on a governmental level, and then they don't have to deal with the people, the uproar of the people, right? Yeah, King Charles basically saying that, look, you know, all the petitioning and everything against the national ID is going to be done away with. The digital ID is going to be done away with. It's going to be implemented, all right? Now, when you deal with Keir Starmer, what he said, he basically said that under 16, they're not allowed on social media. Alright? Some people, they think, yeah, that's good. But how are you going to know if someone's under 16 years old on the internet? Right? They already tried it out with, you know, adult entertainment. Whereby if you want to access those adult entertainment videos, you need to basically sign on
you need to have
an ID yourself. Alright? But people don't see, this man deals with gradualism. He gradually implements a policy in place, and then before you know it, you got no rights. Right?
Same place. I got something like
Yeah, go on.
This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that have made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Go into it?
Yeah, so that's going into basically America, which is Babylon the Great, and basically the nations have drunken of her wine is speaking on pretty much, you know, like all the people, the philosophy of it. Everyone follows off the Babylon, like the mark of the beast is mainly being pushed from where? Out of Babylon. but the world's following along to it. The scripture talk about they followed after the beast, you know. So, but it says it here. It's been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So it's been that place of decadence, man.
Yeah.
You know, the place that you need to be at. Well, currently the greatest, how they say, the greatest sporting event to outside of America, because to them it's the Super Bowl, I guess. America.
Yeah, it's not even the same, man.
Yeah.
They try and,
World Cup is a whole different kettle, man.
Yeah, different
So
kettle.
the thing is, the World Cup now is like, it's in the Golden Cup. It's in Babylon.
Yeah.
People was even talking about it. I can't remember, there was a few articles and it slipped my mind because there was an article, the richest country in the world hosting, because America technically still, till the Lord takes it down, it's still the decadent place, bro. You know?
It's the way it's set up, capitalism.
Exactly. It's the place to still technically be.
It's the world reserve currency. The dollar is still the world reserve currency.
Yeah.
So they really have
They're
a
gonna
big
benefit.
sway over the economics of the whole planet.
Right. But it says it made the earth drunken, man. So, you know, pretty much that philosophy's got the earth swaying, man. The people and that. Like you was mentioning, people are none the wise. They follow along to what's going on because they're drunken.
Yeah.
The nations as a whole, which filters to the people, they're drunken, man. They don't even pay attention to the plays behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it says, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Yeah, because the end goal for Babylon is nukage. You know, like there was them two South African years back. You know, like in Shoreditch, I knew, and then there was all these people going mad.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
Brendan,
yeah,
he says Brendan,
yeah,
remember
yeah,
it? Two poor like rugby players, two like, no, he had to be a Jake.
Yeah.
None of them South Africans. His tongue had no, like, you know, like they would talk about anything. Anyway, people would go by, and I said, man, look at these people. It's crazy. They're all drunk, acting crazy. And you know, he used to go, nuke 'em.
Yeah,
He said, like in his accent. I was like, yeah, this guy's joke. Nuke 'em.
But
He
it's,
said,
hey, it's real. When
Yeah.
you see how the way people behave,
yeah.
you know, no shoes on their feet,
No shame, man.
and then just, you know, because I was reading with a relative of mine, and I was talking about, you know, how, you know, a lot of men are like sex offenders in jail and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the reality is, you got like it's a two-way street. Yeah, you got some fucked up individuals that are just sexually deviant,
Yeah.
right? Sexual deviants. But at the same time, you got women basically
They're doing the
giving
same
them
thing.
license to be a deviant.
Well, a lot of
like
these
you're
women-
putting all your stuff on display, and then you're walking around like whatless, drunk off your face. You know,
in
like
Babylon, bro.
No means
no,
to,
like you should
no
not
form
be
of
out.
protection or
Yeah, you should.
understanding.
Like it's one thing being a woman being out late, but it's another thing being out your fucking nut,
Face, yeah.
off your face, and just out there like
No control.
under the moonlight of the night, man. You don't know what kind of deviants are out there roaming the streets.
Yeah, that's the thing as well, because it's especially in the, I don't know if it's specifically a British thing, but I know especially in this country, the way the drinking culture is, there'll be girls out there smashed off their face. It's 3 a.m. Like, and I'm just like, you're reliant on
Say it, bro.
the kindness of strangers, basically,
Yeah.
for you to get home safe.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you're putting yourself in acid threat, and that's the thing, it's the same with man as well. There's man where it's like, you might say like, oh, X, Y, Z, where they might be maneuvering through certain ends or whatever, doing certain things. There's man where it's like, the way they'll interact with other people, they're not even being respectful. I'm like, bro, you realize you get smacked in the face. But then it's like, some people don't even have those scruples to understand. So that's, it's even less of a, specifically the women thing, it's just a matter of understanding. You might say, oh, men shouldn't rape or whatever, but
And then
the
they was
reality
like,
is bro,
Yeah, but
it's
the
like
thing is,
people
bro,
are going to do whatever the fuck they
the
want to do.
thing is, in that what you're talking about is true.
Say that again.
I think we're recording that live on the.
No, we are, but
we are.
towards us. Yeah.
So what are you guys exactly? I can see you got some new writing.
This is Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew.
Maybe or Hebrew, so
Yeah.
just after cuneiform.
Uh,
Talking about after Mesopotamia.
Well, technically, it predates.
Yeah, it's before.
Because it's before. It's like the most simplest way I can say it is like the Lord said it in John the 1st chapter. I forgot it says verbatim. The word
Let me get
The
it.
Hebrew text.
In the beginning was the word, is that
You
one?
say it's a form of Hebrew, but the Hebrew text comes after Cuneiform. So if it's not Nubic comes before Cuneiform. Hebrew, that's not Hebrew,
In
right?
the beginning was the word, that one.
That's
Yeah,
a
don't
form.
want to run back, everyone. That's a form of.
That's a form of Nubic writing, because I recognize it.
No, but
So are you guys part of the Moorish Science Temple?
no. We're Hebrew Israelites.
The Moorish Science Temple is built on the Hebrew.
No, but we're not.
Whatever they are, we're not them. We're something else.
Like full.
We wouldn't refer to ourselves by that term.
You
Whatever.
refer to yourself as Moors.
No.
No.
So how do you explain us using our pseudonym?
What does more mean though?
Huh?
What does
Moor
more
means
mean?
basically an indigenous person of the land.
Well, no.
When you got. Sorry, go
No,
on.
you speak, bro.
I was just going to say, when you look into the word etymology of the word more, it basically means black.
But black, we're not black. We're melanin.
That's just
And this is how we lose in our sovereignty because we're referring to ourselves as a colour which is actually put into a financial system. And when we refer to ourselves as black rather than being white,
But you got to deal with one thing at a time,
we've
bro.
lost our credibility.
Yeah, but okay. Let me say it like this. Okay. In terms of what do you believe? You believe in the
I
Moorish
don't
right?
believe. I have a knowing system.
Okay, what do you know?
I know that obviously being an indigenous person of any land, melaninite, a person with
Yeah.
the sun,
Yeah.
we were referred to back then as either melaninites, coppertites, or tarites.
Okay.
And that's written on the rules of Tamarin.
Yeah.
You understand?
When-
I'm going back all the way back to the third dynasty of Zosa.
But bro, you know, like to say, but bro, you know, we believe we're. Can I say this?
I'm only
We
inquiring.
believe. Yeah, I know. Bro, you're inquiring. That's
because
good. You're inquiring.
I'm not even gonna like try and.
No, that's good you're inquiring.
I've heard what you guys have to say.
Bro,
We need to
The thing is-
explain our stuff.
that's good. You're inquiring. But we are Israelites. We believe.
I'm not saying that you're not.
What I'm saying to you is that
I'm not saying-
everything we say has to come out of the Bible. So we believe who we are according to the Bible.
The word-
So you're only going back as far as the Bible.
That's
And
it.
all your-
Well,
in the beginning.
How far back does the Bible go?
The Bible doesn't go very far back at all. Because what we're talking about the monotheistic religion what come out of Egypt. It wasn't called Egypt at the time. Because Egypt back in them days was called Egypt. It means Egypt or something.
Okay, so what the creation story? What's the creation story you
Well,
believe?
there's no
Or
such
you
thing.
know
There's
of?
no such thing as a beginning and an end
Okay.
when it comes to nature.
Yeah.
Right? You have a circle and a square, which is a science. Both of them equate to 360 degrees, right? There's no other mathematical equation that can map to that, forming two different shapes. So we're talking about a science here. Yeah? When you say that you're Israelites and you're Hebrew Israelites, right? You have to go further than back. From before Hajj traveled through the desert over into Chaldea with their son Ishmael. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but
you haven't answered the question.
I have
You created the story, but you
believe in.
How do we become
How we here? What's the?
we travel from different planets to come here.
So what's the origin
along-
story? Like,
Origin story.
yeah, like,
The origin of the planet or the origin of it?
no, like of us as beings. Like, how did? Because you're saying ours.
Listen,
You're saying like this was from a certain time before this.
Humans is grafted from different vessels.
Okay.
This Hugh vessel, when we say HU, we're talking about a creation force.
Okay.
From HU0 all the way up to HU7.
Bro, but
Understand?
the thing is, bro, the brother asked
And
you.
now you're talking about creation. Now,
Bro,
when I'm saying to you,
how did we?
What I'm saying to you, there's no such thing as a beginning and an end. Because they
Okay,
said
but
that everything
then
that
this-
has a beginning must come to an end.
Okay, so can I ask a question?
well, I
Yeah,
just
I'm
want
trying to
to.
answer this question to the best of my ability.
Yeah, but then just from what you're saying, it's like we're dealing with something very different. As far
We
as
don't want to build rock at the same time.
Oh no, we're dealing with something. We have different beliefs.
There's people on this rock right now that think they're from monkeys. There's people on this rock right now that think there's the Jaws going to
Exactly.
come through and Pegasus
You
and
think that
Muhammad on
your
Pegasus.
Hebrew Israelites come from the Bible? Moorish Science Temple didn't come from the Bible. And we're talking about
But we're not Moors.
The thing I'm
We're not
saying
Moors, bro.
is what we're dealing
No,
what
we're
we're dealing with.
The word more goes back to what?
Bro,
It's a Latin word,
that's
moreno.
the-
It just means it
Yeah,
means
yeah, I
people of
understand
color.
that.
So yeah, we're people of color. But who are you?
You
First of
can't
all,
even
first
just
of
say
all,
like,
Indigenous person of color. Understand that?
Oh, look. Let me. Can I ask you a question? Where are you from? Where are you from? What's your nationality? What's your nationality? Where are you from? What's your nationality? Let me ask you where's your dad from? Let me ask you. Let me ask you, bro.
These lines are not visible.
Let me ask you, where's your dad from? Where's your dad from? Can I read something?
Let me read the Bible. No.
Amos, then you can go.
Because all I've got to do
you can
is
go.
quote Psalms.
Amos 3 and 3. Amos 3 and
okay,
3.
what's the significance?
Let me
Significance.
Amos 3 and 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? You don't agree with what we agree with.
That's because we're not walking together. We haven't shared the
But
same
we then guess
experiences
what?
in
We
life.
don't want to walk with you.
Well, that's
it.
your choice. But the thing is, the
So
only
the-
reason why we disagree is
but the thing is, bro,
we
let
have a
me-
belief system
but
that is different.
if you-
if we share the
And
same
that's fine.
experiences, then we
But the
know
thing
it
is,
together.
but brother, listen.
Yeah, but
everyone
the
shares
thing
different
for
experiences
us
in
is what we're dealing with is something where you've got to be saying the same
But
thing
you're
as
dealing with a
us.
belief system. That's not God.
Then
Bro, but okay.
that's your opinion.
Yeah,
Go to-
but
go
You
to
just
Psalms.
hold on. Why are you
It's
forcing? Why are
just
you?
an example
Hold on.
where we're
Can I
not
say
in
something?
agreement.
Why? But bro, let me
We're not
ask
in
you.
agreement
Why are you
with that,
forcing your opinion on us?
I'm not.
So why don't you leave us then?
Right, 100%.
Cheers, bro.
Listen, the best that you can do, obviously, I mean,
Bro, you don't even know what we're dealing with.
because
You've not even interacted with
because I don't
anything.
recognize it.
Then we don't.
Yeah, but then like what? How are we meant to interact?
Exactly.
If we're gonna be talking
So
to
no,
you,
but hold on,
you're gonna
hold
be
on,
like,
bro.
that's-
You have. But hold on. You
You
believe.
don't come with anything
But let me. But okay, but that's cool. But check it out, bro.
I've
We're not here.
said real
But we're
facts
not
to
here
you
to
if you
convince.
actually take
We're not
time
here.
to
To,
go
but hold on. We're not here to convince you. We don't
No,
care.
I'm not. You can't convince me because I don't live in.
But we don't
belief.
care.
Bro,
So you
bro,
can go.
Bro, do you
We don't
believe-
care.
I was gonna say
do you
something.
We don't- we're not
believe
here
in
to
the Bible?
convince you,
No.
bro.
You
I
don't
know the
believe.
Bible.
Exactly.
Do you believe in the Bible?
Exactly.
Yes or
There's a
no?
difference. If you go to the word
Do you
belief,
believe-
it
do you
comes
believe
from
in the
the word
Bible?
life, and it means to life.
So,
It's different
okay,
between
do you
believing
believe
and knowing.
in the Bible? Okay, that's
I know the Bible.
as simple as that. Then there's
Okay.
there's gonna be no ground.
What's the mark of the beast?
Go.
So what is it?
I'm going to tell you something. You can never escape
didn't
the beast.
answer.
Listen, and I'll explain the reason why you can't.
Bro, you said that.
no.
We are so not in agreement. It's legendary.
Answer this
That's not
question.
legendary.
Answer me this question. Answer me this question.
No, we want to read the Bible.
I'm
We
gonna-
want to read the
all of you
Bible.
lot, all of
We
you
want to
lot
read the
stop, yeah?
Bible.
Listen,
Knowing
no,
this,
no, no, no,
Second
no,
Peter's
no.
3 and
You asked me a
3.
question.
Knowing this first.
You asked me a question. You didn't let me explain it.
Knowing this first.
That's not. Don't be so.
Knowing
righteous
this
about
first.
it.
You
Yeah?
didn't. I asked you a
You have
straightforward
not
question.
interacted
Knowing
with
this
us.
first.
I'm going to give you an
Anything
explanation that will make you think.
You,
No,
bro,
we don't
you-
want. We don't want you. We don't want
Bro,
to
you
make
can come in
I
here.
just told you. You can't
bro,
say
we
that.
come in here as
I asked you a question.
you're-
What's
Whilst
the mark
we're
of
in
the
this
beast?
realm,
What's the mark
I'm not
of the beast?
escaping this.
But brother, look. Hey, bro, look.
No.
Okay,
What is it
yeah, but
physically?
what's the physical thing?
You're in the system.
Yeah.
Okay,
There is no
yeah,
physical. There's no
you're getting
physical mark
warm.
of a beast.
Then
There is no
you don't know the
physical
Bible.
There's
That's
no
I'm just
physical
asking
mark
a
of the beast.
question.
But he doesn't believe in the Bible. You don't believe it. You don't have to believe
He
in the
doesn't
Bible.
have.
Just like
But
I
he
know
said
the
he knows
Torah.
the Bible.
Just like I know the
That's what he
Quran.
said.
Just like I know the Bible.
You don't
fine,
know
bro.
the Bible.
I do know the Bible. All you need to do is
Then,
go to
bro,
Psalms 86
then, bro, let me
and
ask you
explain
something.
the
Let me
rest.
ask, but bro, can I say
All you
something?
need to do is
This
go to
debate ain't get, this
Revelations.
conversation ain't getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So instead of
we
let's
finna
not burn each other out. So the best thing to do is just go, bro.
60
Bro, just go. Just go.
Yeah, there's 60
Bro,
seconds.
bro,
60 seconds.
just go. Just go. You don't want to talk.
An hour.
You're obsessed, mate.
24 hours in a day.
Brother,
Bro,
brother, stop, bro.
Bro, this was semantics, bro.
Because Gabriel used those
we-
maps up to
we-
9.
bro,
We use the maps up to 9.
Let's just go to.
I know the mark
Let's
of the
go
beast better
to
than any of you. I know
Revelation
what-
13.
Go on.
Revelation 13.
Bible, 500 years ago.
Yeah, but we're not trying to convince you, bro.
Yeah, but
Just
you,
go, bro.
you're talking about
How can you
something
be a Mormon?
further back than 500
How
years
can you
ago.
be Israelites?
You said this ain't even. This is.
You're not going off the Torah, so how can you be Israelites?
Revelation 13 from where?
How can you be
13 and
Israelites?
16.
Revelation 13 and
No,
16.
because
Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and
weren't
poor,
Christianity then.
free
You
and
don't
bond,
understand that, bro.
to
We
receive.
never said we're Christians.
If
Read
you
it
read
again.
in the Bible.
That don't make us Christian.
That's why
That don't make
you
you
don't
Christian.
understand anything.
Like you haven't heard
don't
what I'm
understand
saying.
anything.
And he calls of all.
Bro, you've not interacted with anything.
Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls of all. Cheers, bro.
We're lost.
Cheers, man. Cheers, bro. Thank you, man.
No, you couldn't answer a simple question, man.
Cheers, bro. Yeah,
that
okay,
means
bro.
I am in love with it all.
That's
all
cool,
love is
bro.
in me. If you go to the walls of Egypt, yeah, that's the first
Revelation
time
13 and
it's spoken
16. Bro, all that Egyptologist was taught to you by the
No,
French.
no.
By
You're
so-called white
looking
people.
at
That's where
Zoza.
that
No,
from.
you're looking at
So-called
Zoza.
white people taught
You're
you
looking
that.
at him.
All that
You're looking
Egyptologists
at
taught
him.
you that.
Check my
Local white
statue.
people do that.
Look at my
Alright,
face
cool,
and go and
check
check
your-
my statue.
Revelation
You won't believe
30,
it.
that's cool, brother.
Because our messages got lost and
That's
you lot
cool,
are here
bro.
calling yourself
Revelation
black.
30.
Yeah, but
And you wonder why there's
you know
poor
what you
people
can-
on the
you know what you
street.
can do, you know
You
what
wonder
you
why
can
there's
do.
poor people on the street
You know
because you
what
don't
you
even
can
know
do.
what you are.
Hear it,
You know what
bro.
you can do.
You're
bro.
Melaninites. You're not
Wait, hold on.
black people. Get that right.
I hear it,
Get
bro.
that right.
No,
You
but
did,
you
bro.
can
You know
go
what?
out
I'm
to
not.
catch us, bro.
We're not knocking
You
you.
can
Do
go
your
out-
thing, bro.
you can do your
We're not
thing.
knocking you, bro. Do your
I've
thing,
got-
bro.
I've got a quick
Yeah,
one.
how you live, my bro.
If you got wisdom,
Yeah, how
you
you
can go
live?
out and teach the
Yeah,
people, bro.
yeah.
Go out
Get how
and
you
teach
live,
them.
bro. Get how you live, bro. Do your thing,
Okay,
man.
cool.
Revelation
I've got a
13.
quick one. Second Corinthians 4 and 3 it says,
Oh.
"But if our gospel be hid, it's hid
That's
to them
right.
that are lost."
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it's like the things we're teaching are very simple. The understanding of the scriptures is to them who it's given to. It's very
something
straightforward,
for you.
bro. That
Yeah.
whole the thing is that Egyptology, all that is played out. That whole black, Moorish, whatever. It's the bro. That where's the salvation?
I'll stand in there in case he hits the camera, man.
When did,
Yeah.
when did the salvation arrive for anyone with that view? Man, have been doing that from forever
Bro,
time.
his brain was cooked.
But now we're in a time where the reason why you're talking, everyone knows what the mark of the reason everyone knows what mark and beast is because the Bible's the book one, and two is because the word's been pushed out.
Bro.
There's just like more than he doesn't know.
Bro, he's a
There's people in the
Mennonite.
world that know the mark of the beast is the RFID.
He's a Melaninite. Hey, these niggas are gone.
Melanin-
When the Lord said these people are
No,
gone, when the Lord said these people are gone, he meant it.
Yeah.
Hey, he meant that, man. The
So
Lord
the
meant it. The
Melaninite.
guy is a
You're a
Melaninite.
Melaninite.
Then he started talking that shit from the Mummy, the movie. Max in the cookie.
Yeah, man,
Max in the
nuts on the moon,
Like,
nuts on the moon, like bro, like
Revelation, Matthew.
Look, that series died out, bro.
This nigga started going into the Mummy. Hey, yo. And all that, the thing is, all that Egyptology was given by French Masons because they the ones that excavated and wrote those books.
It's an extension of all that Aleister Crowley witchcraft
Yes, sir.
that's going around in the time.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the thing is as far as for Esau gets into witchcraft. You're talking about, oh, you know, your melon, bro. It's like what you're dealing with is an extension. Esau was the one going into them tombs, getting into them ancient texts, getting into them ancient practices, and keeping them going. Esau, why is the Cleopatra's needle like in London? Where, yeah, Cleopatra's needle in London.
Yep.
Why is it they took that from the land of Egypt and planted it down in the city of London? Because they engage with and they channel all those spirits. That's the thing, is it's like you're thinking, oh, you know, black, blah, blah. Bro, it's like that's been played out. Man have been getting into Egyptology and being confused and confounded, and nothing's arrived. When it comes to the prophecies of the Bible, the reason you even are thinking about the mark of the beast and even can recognize the concept, you didn't say like, oh, I don't know, what's that? What mark of the beast? No, because you know, because why? It's in the Bible. What's being taught in the Bible is now coming to a fullness. Now's the time where people are able to be, oh, implantable microchip. There's white girls coming up from France saying they know what the mark of the beast is. Oh, like, yeah, they're just like, yeah, answering confidently. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an implantable RFID chip.
But see, you mentioned
They're not talking about no Coptic
exactly.
text. They're not going
They'll
into
get to the
another
point.
Solomon,
Yeah,
another Solomon.
see, even apostles have said it over the years. Esau, some of these people got to be Jake anyway, but Esau in general knows what the mark is.
Yeah.
They know, they're up to date. It's just these crazy ass, my lord, my people are gone. The whole head is sick, man. He's a rambling idiot. You know what I'm saying?
And so, oh, you guys are lost. You guys, bro, it's like you like. Even dealing with, like, you've not even engaged with anything we've said.
Exactly.
You've said, oh, what are you guys doing?
And guess what? He was never gonna.
Yeah.
He was never intending. to.
Really, he just wanted to talk. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna yap about, so you know, this Egypt, man need to get onto this Moorish thing. Bro, it's like you probably went to jail and then you converted to whatever, bro.
Exactly.
Even
Can
if he didn't go to jail, he's in jail in his
in
mind.
his mind.
Man.
Can I read this, bro? Matthew 13 is on the point, and 11. He answered and said unto them, because it is given, and the disciples, Matthew 13 and 10, or from 9, who have ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Verse 11, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
Yeah. Given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. That's the thing, is these things as they're being taught, it's really for the elect. These things are really for the elect.
And the thing is, this guy as well, it's like, it's better to like say, like, just, you know, leave us, because it's like, even if he doesn't believe what we believe, he's not even trying to engage with the scripts so you can talk. It's just going to be a mindless argument.
It's not even a
Just go, bro.
discussion.
Leave us, man. You want to be an Egyptologist? Please do it over there. And I notice none of these guys go and actually teach anybody, but they'll be telling you what you believe.
I ain't never seen a Morris. Yeah.
The Lord said it,
Yeah,
man.
whoa.
I ain't seen him with a fez on.
Yeah, Fez, exactly.
Teaching the Moorish rights. And
Exactly.
all the time, so I ain't seen one.
And first of all, the Moors didn't mix their shit with Egyptologists. The Moors were hardcore Muslim.
Yeah.
They didn't mix their shit with. They hated that stuff.
That's what it's really just that basically any kind, just clinging to any kind of black positive
Exactly.
kind of
Yes.
rebellion doctrine.
What you
Melanin,
expect?
like unk tattoos,
That's a fucking funny ass
unk on their eyes. I've seen some of these.
That's an
I've seen some of
melanin.
these caps. They're so ingrained with Egypt. Some of these Jake, they get it tattooed on them. You know the Eye of Horus.
Yeah, Eye of
Like these
Horus,
guys
yeah.
are gone. And half a unk. I saw some Eve with like 2 unks on her tits. I'm like, she had like 1 unk there, 1 unk there. You know the whole cross. It's like, fucking hell, man. But the Lord said it, bro. That who have ears to hear, let him hear. So the ears are for the elect. So really, we out here invisibly speaking to catch the ears that hear. Not for the. We don't care. We don't care if 1 million people, like 10, 20 million. Who cares? 1 million Egyptologists can go to Geb's pyramid now and sleep in there. We couldn't give a shit, man. Go. That's what you believe it is. You know?
But that's the thing. Bro, it's like when we're dealing with the times we're in now.
Right.
The World War. We're dealing with the prophecies
Prophecy.
of the Bible. It's a time where these prophecies in His Word are being manifest. That's why World War III is a discussion point. That's why the state of Israel. Everyone's the most recent conflict has been a global focal point for a matter of years from when it kicked off.
Right.
Everyone's talk. That's something you talk about. The state of Israel, Palestine. Everyone's going to have something to say. They're going to have thoughts about certain things.
Yep.
You talk about World War III. You talk about the situation with Iran, the Strait of Hormuz. These are going to be things people discuss. They'll have something to say. You say, so what do you think about, King Tut? Right? No one care about no goddamn King Tut, no Geb. None of that dog shit, bro.
Yeah.
I read
It's funny
this.
because I know someone that's in Egypt at the moment. They're coming back. He was telling me that, like even them all them Ishmaelites over there. Them, you know them mixture Greek babies, Ishmaelites, Ottoman, those guys that are claiming they're African today. Those guys. Anyway, he told me that most of them actually told him. Some of them, a lot of them secretly believe in Horus and all that. They don't even believe in Islam. They secretly worship that stuff still over there. You know what I'm saying?
There's gonna be
They
a
admitted
spirit
it to
over
him.
there once
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, it's gonna be alluring.
They secretly believe
Even
in
the land
Horus
is-
and all that. Yeah. I got Revelation 19 after.
Okay, I got this. Hosea 4 and 6, it says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee." Yeah, like people are destroyed, like lack of knowledge is really the root of the lack of understanding. They're completely wandered after some other image, man.
Right.
They're following after someone else's whole thing. They're trying to engage. And the thing is as well, is that Egypt is that old like love affair Jake has had, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's
100%.
really been a spot that just kind of has that
100%.
allure onto Jake.
Oh, 100%, bro. And the thing is, even what we're saying to you, bro, the whole Egypt thing, right? The French Masons were the big excavators over there. All that books that these guys learned, the Hamunaptra and all that, you got that from them.
A bunch of white men went over there.
Exactly. Like,
And
like
set
Indiana
that all
Jones
up,
type
yeah.
cats.
Because that's
Yeah,
the
bro.
thing is, it's like Egyptology. They're dealing with like you guys just came, bro. Ain't no fucking black American in the 1800s being like, oh, let me go to Egypt and excavate this.
Yeah.
Bro, what the hell are you talking? Was dream of that thing happening?
You know,
bro?
with Jake like that, they're so far gone. There is no, you know, like, he came to really tell us we're wrong. He came to scoff, bro. That's it.
that's
He don't
it.
care about the Bible, man. The Lord said it. Said
He
this.
said, yeah, these guys still dealing with that. Oh,
And
so,
he knows
you
damn
got
well
that
who we are.
ancient text.
He knows
Yeah.
damn well where the Israelite. Everyone knows about Israel because it's all over the internet. I got something that. Revelation 19 and 10. It says, oh no, sorry, is it 19? Oh yeah, Revelation 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. It says, have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. It says, worship the Lord for the testimony of, you know, there's spirits of children in it.
I know, I'm not
Yeah.
fussed.
It says, worship Yahweh Shai for the sorry man. going off there. He says, and of thy brethren, that, the testimony of Yahweh worship. Let me read that again. Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Lord, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. That's what we're into, prophecy. You asked him what the mark of the beast was, guess what? He didn't know what it was. He was faffing around. You don't know about prophecy, man.
And then he gave us a math equation.
You get it, yeah, exactly. And still couldn't tell you who built the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? He gave a math equation. You mentioned
minutes, 24.
no, a white chick from Europe will come and straight tell you, yeah, that's the mark, that's the brain, the metal implant they're going to put in our hands and heads. You know about that, yeah. They'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But a Jake will come and give you a bloody, a math enigma, a pop quiz, a goddamn math enigma, or whatever the hell it is.
I'm like, bro, it's like, do you even understand what you're saying, bro? That's the thing. It's like these men just want to be some mystifying, deep wisdom oracles,
right.
Bro. It's like, what's actually profitable to a man right now? Right now, what the fuck is that gonna do for me, bro?
Yeah, bro.
They're like, wow, he's deep. No, would say that to some bitch you're trying to get in the drawers of, bro.
I didn't want to entertain him because when he said melanin, that's the easiest one to cut. It's like you could just say that what Indians have got melanin.
Exactly.
You got some Indians darker than.
But the thing is, as soon as you,
there's loads of people darker than him.
of course
There's loads of nationalities darker than him.
But the fucking Sri Lankans from Colombo and walk around going, I'm a Melon.
Yeah.
They're telling you what they are. I'm a Tamil or whoever they
We
is.
get a Dominican, we get one of the Simeonites. They don't tell you,
Yeah, no
Yeah,
blah,
exactly.
no blah, no blah,
Exactly.
no blah.
Yeah.
black. But then guess what? They're blacker than you. So what? Are they more melanite than you? Like where does it like?
And then what was
And
that?
even the fact that he said melanite, bro, he spoke all that cuneiform, but he couldn't bring us a name that's cuneiform, like origin.
Yeah, melanite. That's the
Melanite.
most, like that's some modern ass, new age, current generation shit right there, bro. Was it? You read it?
I got something.
In his bedroom.
I read it. But I'm gonna get something else as well here, right? This is Judges 10, and Judges 10 and 13 it says, Judges 10 and 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation.
Yeah, that's it. It's really what you're clinging to. Is it going to be to your benefit? Because as far as it's whoever you Ra, Set, Osiris, Ged, all these motherfuckers. Like who's telling you? They've not been able to tell you what the mark of the beast is or what to do when it gets instituted.
Exactly.
What did he say? He always said, "Oh, the beast. You can't like the beast system. Like is gonna win or something. You can't escape the beast system."
Right.
I was like, "Bro, that's for you. You can't escape the beast. You're up in it." That's the thing is the witchcraft is an extension of the beast system. We go to Isaiah 47.
Yeah.
Stand now with thine enchantments.
Yep.
Those are the things that he's labeling from thy youth.
Yep.
And that's the thing is the whole Ouija board, horoscopes, astrology, these things what people get like it was Victorians, it was 1800s or whatever. They were getting into all those different things. They're like, ooh, they'll be in their rooms going thingy. They'll go. That's why they were flying off to Egypt to get all up in there. They'll go into some ancient witch, an ancient magi or whatever. They're trying to get into that. That's what they're about. So you trying to utilize that to your benefit. That's how you know you don't understand the scriptures. Because you go into the scriptures, then you already know. Like, see if it will save you from what's going to befall you. But that's the thing, it's those which it's not going to save you from the coming times. Because really it's something that's under the Most High's conduct anyway. Like what, as far as the extent they can go to. Because why? That's part of what established this system. And the Most High said he's done away with this system anyway. Like that's what it's like. You even realize this system's going down. Mr. Anak son of Moon. Like, do you even realize
That's the point.
This way, yeah.
You need to know what kind of there's fucking World War III taking place. Iran and America are locking horns daily. What you call it?
Yeah,
Proxy
it's a back
wars.
and forth every
other over the oil of the planet. Do you even realize you're living in inflation? The niggas are just gone, man. You know, the Lord said it. Out of every people, it's Jake that's the worst off in the head for the most part. Even these heathens have got more clued up mentalities. You know what I'm saying?
The whole head is sick.
The whole head is. I'll get it, bro.
Get that in there, yeah.
Okay, calm. It says Isaiah 1:5. It says, why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
It's just completely in a state of decay, man. It's completely in a destroyed, unrecoverable state. And that's really the significance. Because it was someone like posted a clip of, I was chatting to posted a clip of Goodbye Uncle Tom. And I was remembering things that happened in that, and I was like, bro, it's like the level of destruction that the American Judah Benjamin Levi over there was put through was super heroic, legendary destruction. Like them that were, I remember like a little girl running over the hill where she's got the Jake on the chain, like chasing behind him. When man was getting his nuts ripped off, and then everyone was just there laughing at him when he's in agony. I was like, bro, it's like these are things where it's like that was happening generationally, compounded, and like you're not even understanding why these things are happening.
And you know, I was gonna actually ask you, where's your dad from? That say to me, why did that happen to our people? But you know, it wasn't gonna go there. But that's a question to ask. You all this Geb and Horus and all that. Well, why did that happen to your people? He's obviously a Jake. Why did that happen?
There's some super generational, legendary Egyptian heritage bloodline.
Why did that happen to us?
You know,
Can you give us an explanation?
Like Ra is in your bloodline.
Yeah.
The blood of Ra is flowing through you.
An ox and a moon.
Yeah, an ox and a moon.
Right.
But then how is it that you then like got put in subjection? And that's the thing.
Well, that's a
key
good question to
factor.
ask, bro. Why did that happen to our folks? You know what I'm saying? It's a heavy question to ask, man.
So read this, Isaiah 24:4 says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. That's even for now why the destructions befall in Esau, and why the whole world is basically in that decaying, destroyed, decrepit state. You have to go into the scriptures to understand it. Because those are things that it's like, you ask a guy talking like that, okay, why is the world in the state it's in right now? Is it because Ra is upset? Man said, sun god Ra. Why? Bro, Ra's upset. Why is he giving us the good weather? What's going on, man?
Exactly. Fuck, you know. These men are crazy, man. Yeah.
But they don't really have answers. Because as far as even to get an explanation of to line up meaning, that's why you need to go into the scriptures.
Right.
Because the prophecies really break down, okay, well, if you do X, Y, Z, these are the things you get. It's like, you'd be like, oh, why is it that you're getting kids? Bro, can Ra explain why 7-year-olds are getting cancer?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
what the hell has 7-year-old done to be catching cancer? Like, what the hell is going on?
Exactly. Can Ra explain why America and Iran are locking horns? Who are they?
Yeah.
Those two nations.
Yeah, where's the text talking about America?
Exactly. If it's up to these guys, really, they're so brain dead. These Jakes, you know, we always used to say it. If it was up to these guys to wake us up, we'd be gone. We'd be dead.
Yeah.
So the Lord set his men up, man. But you see, years back, like on Oxford Street, you'd have argued with a guy like this.
Yeah,
Now it's just like,
be here for like 45
but
minutes.
you just know now, so as soon as you meet him, it's an endless cycle battle, man.
Because when you say the first thing he said was just, you know, just starts spewing out the mouth, talking about, oh yeah, you don't know. It looks like, you said like, oh, you said, you know, he said, oh, you guys are Moors.
Yeah.
And we said, no, we're not Moors. Bro, how are you just going to come and define someone? Like, but then it's like, and it's like, okay, what's the word Moor mean? And then he's not even dealing with the actual etymology of the word Moor. You just decided to put some extra meaning on top. I'm like, bro.
Well, that's the same way everyone says we say nigger because of niggers. No, we don't. You say nigger because in slavery you was getting whipped and called a nigger.
Yeah, that's it.
In the Hebrew, in the Latin, which comes from Latin.
Exactly.
There's nothing from Ethiopia on the west coast of Africa. when you got taken into slavery. That's what people like to say. Like, I've had that debate once or twice. I said, well, you could say technically
It's a Latin
back to the
word.
word negus. Negus has nothing to do with
And that-
why
that-
we're called niggas today.
And hold on, that word means prince.
Yeah.
That word. Negus. Yeah. That's what that means. So what's that? So you're telling me they were whipping us
Whipping us,
and they were
yeah,
calling you that?
Prince.
Prince. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
yeah.
No, they were calling you. It was a way of them
So meaning.
basically they're calling you black.
Yeah,
Whipping
anyway.
you, calling you black, but that's just they use that as a derogatory way.
Yeah.
But it's a Latin word.
And it works.
Nice, and it works.
Now
That's it.
you lot call yourselves niggas without even
With the derogatory like way. Like even
You don't need-
I remember, sorry bro. Now I said to one Jake, he mentioned that to me, and I said to him, bro, that's like a, you know that's Latin, the word nigger, and that's actually Latin, and it like, you know, that's where you get Niger and stuff. And I saw him hardwired, and now I'm a nigger. Like I said, I'll leave it at that. Like, do you get me? I was basically
The demon was just like resisting.
because he was
in
talking to
heaven.
me about it, so I said to him, bro, but you know the words have origins, but
I
they don't
wasn't
want to.
trying to.
Yeah.
They don't wanna,
He's just trying to
They
put some
love that
meaning
word
on it.
so
I just left it at that. I
Soul,
left it
like,
at that.
yeah,
You wanna equate it to hip hop and whatever you wanna do, N word.
Bro,
whatever,
that's some like not even 50 years old like uses of these shit.
Yeah.
Like that's some brand new ass shit. Like when the thing is hundreds of years ago it was being used, thousands of years ago it was being used. How you just gonna ignore all that context and jump to actually I just like this one. It makes me feel better.
Because they like it. That's it, isn't it?
There's study
Because
makes
it's, in reality, it's like I was watching Joe Budden or listened to it when I was on the plantation, and he said that basically, what did he say? He said that I'm trying to. They were talking about snitching or something like that. He said, "Listen, I'm trying to get her out of all that dumb
Mindset.
hip hop
Yeah.
mindset." So it really shows you, like, obviously he's got money, he's around in certain rooms, and he's really probably
He's
certain
realised where this thing's
experiences.
duped.
Yeah, like into believing it's dumb. Because that's like, I don't even listen to rap music now. Like, after a certain generation, it's like, I don't even listen to it.
You niggas, Michael X said, you niggas don't want a nation. You want to stay on the plantation, you know, these 2/3, man.
Yeah.
These guys want to stay in that. They're not about waking up.
No.
They want to stay in that brain dead
Yeah.
system that he's created for
Yeah.
them. Hosea 4:6. Can I read this?
Right.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy father, I will also forget thy children.
Trying to.
Yeah. So basically, Jake is gone, man. Pretty much. That's it. And you reject the Lord. How do you reject the Lord when his knowledge is being spoken? Like even before even meeting us, these niggas hate the Bible. It's just in them to hate it.
that's the reality. Yeah.
Before you even run into a Hebrew Israelite, they've already got it in their mind. I hate this
Yeah,
book.
that's bad.
You know what I'm saying? That's the truth.
So he was
it's
bringing
great.
it, he said,
He rejected the
He said,
knowledge.
"Oh, what's that got to do with Christianity?" It's like, bro, it's like you're fighting with a phantom, man. You're shadow boxing with an illusion. Because and that's the thing is like most people, it's like they've never stumbled upon a Hebrew Israelite. They don't know what we're teaching. They don't know what we're about. Because the thing is, the first thing you think is, oh, you got to know these men are talking about prophecies. Because that's in reality, you're dealing with really has to be dealing with great millstone to be hearing about prophecy. Because it really comes to that's a key thing. As far as the time we're in, it's like everything revolving around prophecy. Now, when you're dealing with that, then it's like, really, what are you man saying, man? So you can get into, the ancient texts and blah, blah. Okay, cool. Let's we can fight over, which language was older. But then when it comes to the time of judgment, what Wagwan in that time, that's a reality. Like that's like, have you got answers for that?
Yeah, exactly.
I've got one more verse on. Do you have more
Nah,
notes on
that
that?
was it.
One more verse in Isaiah 24. So in Isaiah 24:6 it says, "Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left."
Right.
See, it's the curse. Basically, this place is going to get cooked, man. That's the reality is very soon down the line, America's going to get laced with missiles, and various spots globally are being laced with nuclear missiles. And that's something that's going to come to pass. It must needs come to pass. That mark, that implantable RFID chip is going to be instituted out to the people and be made mandatory. These are things that are going to come to pass. World War III is going to pop off. All the armies in the world are going to be drawn into the Levant. That's what's going to go down.
It's happening already.
Yeah. Yeah, we already have the focus has been on that area. You've already had all these different nations getting drawn in. Because that's the thing, it's like even with, you saw with Ukraine where, like, what was it, Iranian drones were being used by the Russians. North Korea was sending troops to be utilized in Ukraine. And what was it as well? China basically is propping up financially Russia as well. Basically, you had, just as you had, what was it, Axis and Allies in World War II, that same, those teams are being set up, where you've seen how it's played out in Ukraine. And the same thing is going to play out when it goes into Iran as well. Because everyone was saying like, oh, you know, now that Iran peace deals go through, what does it mean for like Russia's relationship with Iran? Lo and behold, once you know the Strait of Hormuz was closed like 3 days later.
What happened, bro?
No, don't worry.
So someone I know.
Yeah, I thought you knew the guy in the back.
But did someone say something to me?
No. I thought you said something.
Sorry, bro. I was just going in my head, bro, right there. Yeah, that's it, bro. That's the important things, what you're saying, the connection, you know, prophecy, etc. This is what's important. What's taking place now, man. Bro.
No,
Bless you. Okay, see you, yeah. I'll see you.
Yeah.
No, hang up, yeah?
Yeah.
In the week and stuff like that.
When
Should be around, yeah?
Yeah. Read this, Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. That's the thing is really when you get into prophecy, that's when you can see who really understands the words of the Bible. Because as far as to get the understanding, what does it say? The testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. Really, you've got to be able to go into these prophecies and break down what's going on. When it says, you know, Babylon the Great, where's that talking about? When it mentions these different events that are going to take place, really, you're going to be able to break it down. Because that's why it's like you talk to a Christian, these guys have no clue what's going on. You talk to these other people that claim to have, you know, supreme understanding, lo and behold, they don't know what they're talking about. Because as far as when it comes down to it, you need to know what the understanding of these things are to survive in the time. Because as far as that's the thing is it's going to be a reality. And that's the thing is they just don't believe the words of the book. The mom read it earlier. I'll read it again. 2 Peter 3:3, it says, what? Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. And yeah, that's the true reality of it. They're really in their mind thinking, this shit ain't gonna happen. Whatever you're talking about, whatever you're breaking down, that's not gonna come to pass. They're really gonna be looking at like, no, this is, you know, it's like, yeah, maybe in 100, these guys are saying like maybe in 50 years, maybe in 100 years, because they're just thinking like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. That's some BS. That's some whatever. They're thinking, you know, Elon Musk is gonna have us on Mars. Like we're gonna have colonies on whatever planet X, Y, Z. You know, we're gonna have you know, AI data centers in space or whatever the fuck. They're basically buying into the mentality of what Esau's pushing on it. Because that's really the reality of it. It's whether you know, have trust and faith within the words of this book, within the Heavenly Father and His Son, or you have faith and trust within Esau and his system. And the vast majority of people in the world are going to have that trust within the system.
Matthew 24 and 36. For of that day
I was gonna look for.
and hour knoweth no man. No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Yeah. This is something where it's like the day isn't even known unto Yahushua. Yahushua has basically been given like, yo, you're gonna get your kingdom. He's basically waiting to receive the green light to go and receive it. But then the exact day that's gonna come to pass, that's not known. But then these are the things is we know, we have faith that day's gonna come. But then really people in the world are just thinking like, nah, they're not even, they're just like, it's just, it's just fairy tales. It's just stories that were told. But then the reality is gonna be a big shock. That's the thing is, all these events happening, we can go to what is it, C19, man. That was a big shock. When the lockdowns happened, everyone was shook. Everyone was all like, oh shit. There was an era of uncertainty. People were thinking like, yo, what's gonna happen? What's this the full not layout. What's the full effects of this these lockdowns gonna be? Same thing for as well with Iran, when the US started doing sending missiles over to Iran. People are like, oh shit, what's going on? Is World War III? Is there going to be what do you call it? It's going to be a draft. Like who else is going to join in? What allies are going to get involved? Like what's the impact of the shutting of the Strait of the Gulf Strait of Hormuz going to be as well? These are things that people are. It's only now as it's happening. Then they're like, damn shit. But then that's as far as for us, we already know the prophecies. As far as for this economy, we already know it's going to have to go kaput because they're looking to bring in a different system entirely. When it deals with the MOTB, the mark of the beast, then what? They say it's basically you're not going to be able to buy or sell without engaging with that system. So that means the current means where you basically don't have to have it, that can't be around.
This is what we're seeing happen now with Keir Starmer stepping down.
Was it digital ID
and you had King Charles basically say about it being implemented in the digital ID. Then Keir Starmer basically saying that no under 16s are allowed on social media. It's basically compounding upon the digital ID. But as time goes on, they know that Agenda 2030 is basically whereby they want to have a cashless society, all right? And if you've got your eyes open, and really you don't even need the Spirit of the Lord to be dealing with you on this level. If you've got your eyes open, you can see that the way they're governing this earth is they're moving towards a cashless society, right? Everything just is aligning to make sense in that way. Why do you think AI is such a prominent presence in everything you do in day-to-day life, right? Because they basically want to make you reliant upon the computers. They even said, I believe it was Elon,
Yeah, it was Elon.
that said that'll come. You want to basically align yourself with AI, right? So that AI can't get one over you. Basically,
Yeah, he said the only way to keep me, he said AI is going to get so smart, it's going to be so dangerous that the best way to combat is to have your own AI implanted in your brain. And these are the things, is like, the reality of that doesn't matter. As far as for them, all that matters is you get that mark. Because that's the reality of what they're going for. Every angle they're pushing it from. Because what was the digital ID was for what was it, illegal immigrants.
yeah.
They were saying when Keir Starmer came out of it initially, his angle was, so we can maintain and track and make sure that it's only the true actual people that are legally meant to be here getting out of the system, then we have to. That's why we're instituting.
And you don't know that. It's what a lot of people don't realize. That immigration situation is like the fruit that the tree that keeps on giving.
You know what I mean?
Like
the fruit that lays the golden eggs.
Yeah, like it never. It's an evergreen tree because, hey, like the brother said, when you deal with the first level, you had the hotels which they set up. They gave out free deals to different companies to basically take migrants on into hotels, all right? And they got paid handsomely, all right? That was the first thing. So that was an uproar with the people. There are different things happening. So then they said, okay, all right, let's circumvent that by introducing a digital ID. Now that digital ID, like you already said, has nothing to do with no migrants. You know, that ain't even what it's for no more. All right? But guess what? That whole situation is, like I said, it's an evergreen tree. They can always, if all else fails, blame the immigrant, right? Because basically what's going to happen is that they're going to use that as something else for any situation to say, all right, let's do this, let's do that. Like I said, it's an evergreen tree. So they're always going to have and really the whole thing at the end of the day is deception. All right, they want to deceive you into buying into the mark of the beast. That's it. That's all it is. So they're gonna pull on your triggers. Whatever makes you upset, whatever riles you up, they're gonna say it just to make you feel away. All right, and it works at the end of the day because as long as they say that, someone's gonna get stirred up, someone's gonna get emotional, but the agenda is gonna be ever before your eyes, and they're gonna move towards it ever so swiftly, whether you know it or not.
All the time. It wasn't even that late. It was just like I was up early and 6 o'clock start. So
Oh shit.
I was exhausted. And because of the heat, it's like you don't even get sleep.
That's what it is. I didn't
Like no matter what.
It's like 5 hours.
It's
You know,
like
you
once
jump
wake
out of your
up,
bed,
it's on, yeah.
like you feel like you got energy, and then it's like as the day goes on,
Yeah, which is down the road. So I think, yeah, to the wall. Yeah, I think to the onto you having great wrath because he knows that you have got a short time. And yeah, part of that wrath is the oil prices. That's something where that's an immense pain being felt throughout the global economy. They say it's like what 20% of the world's oil goes through the Strait of Hormuz, which means that like a fifth of the supplies on Earth are being impacted. And the thing is as well is like there was a delay on the full impact of that being felt because you had one, it didn't really affect purchases that had already been made. You know, planes are already fueled or whatever, fuel was already stored in supplies. But then as time goes on, they're gonna have to restock, they're gonna have to fill up, and they're gonna have to make future purchases. So it gets felt more and more. That's why you had what was it? Not Spirit, was it Spirit Airlines? Maybe it was Spirit Airlines, yeah, in the US. Spirit Airlines in the US and a few other of the smaller scale airlines where it basically hit, they were like, we're not even able to be profitable anymore with the increase in jet fuel prices. So these are the things, that's the thing is people are looking at like, oh no, why would he do this war? Why would he do this? But then this is like part of the whole approach being taken towards the global economy is with the idea of shifting everyone over to that beast, that mark system, man. Because it's the same thing with you had what SpaceX doing IPO, and then you look into every detail of how that was established and set up and done, and it's basically looking like it was just done to like extract a bunch of money from like people's retirement plans and force it into funding what Elon's doing. And the thing is there's more to come as well. Because they said there's going to be 3 over the course of this year, big AI IPOs, and SpaceX was the first one. It's going to be OpenAI and Anthropic as well. And then when they also, they said there's like a limit on how much money can even be funded from all these different sources. So that means you're just basically going to tie up a lot of the economy into these very few companies. And then anything goes sideways for them, then everything's going down. Because it was the same thing with the housing crisis in 2008. With basically everyone thinking, oh, housing's safe, whatever. Everyone's just investing. People are overexposed, and then people are, buying houses they can't even afford. And it's similar in AI. There's a bunch of things they invested in, a bunch of plans they've made, a bunch of purchases. It's like these guys have bought up, billions upon billions of merchandise. They're not even able to use like for 3, 4, 5 years into the future. Where it's like, if anything goes wrong, you've got a cascade effect of the whole economy feeling immense pain. And then with that pain, then it's what the mark looks even more alluring.
That's a good thing, not everything.
Everything is gradually going to implement the system into play so they can get one over you. Hey, this man's power, his superpower is deception. Right? It isn't force, it's deception. Right? He wants to make you believe that you're making a decision based upon him giving you.
How good that guy?
You too. You're making a decision based upon, what he feeds you.
Yeah.
Right? He's lying to you. But then you feel like I've come to that conclusion. But in reality, they've fed it to you over a course of time. And you now, it's like inception. You've taken hold of this idea and believe it's your own. But in reality, it's not. That idea is something they're feeding you.
بس والله مستشفى نفس المستشفى مرة ثانية.
It's a heat as well. It's generally actually tiring.
Is that LSE?
I read this. Jeremiah 51:8. Oh no, 7. Salah. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's the other interesting aspect as well, is this whole system everyone now currently invested in. This is a new system that was really established, was really post-World War II, where the current setup of how things are was set up. But then everyone's so invested and drawn into it. They're, like the madness of it is to even think it can continue on forever. There's people that really think like, you talk to them, they're thinking like, oh yeah, America's going to be a thing that exists 200 years in the future. They're thinking, oh, it might be a planet called America or something that's been established and set up. They're completely thinking this place is... Yeah. Yeah, no, fucking I saw they had that guy just off in space. It's funny still because it's like it's really just Hollywood has implanted all those ideas
In your mind, that's it.
because it's the same thing with.
That's why I said it. I'm thinking of Total Recall and all those movies type of thing. You probably have a banner with Coca-Cola going around the whole of Mars or the moon. That's basically what America is about, capitalizing off others, feeding off other people's
aspirations or
and
the American dream, innit? Yeah. That's really like that's the thing is people are it's because you can get benefit from the system. People are thinking like, oh yeah, I'll keep it going. But then, the reality of it is you're getting like just like drops, like dust off the table, drops off the edge of the drink. You're barely getting anything as far as when it comes to the whole bite. Because when it comes to, that's the thing is the reality has been, everything you're doing, like all the power's been consolidated. Like the time when you could just go, like the Wild West, that was like what, the 1700s, 1600s, when you could just go out west and then just be like, okay, I'm going to go off into a completely undeveloped whatever, and then build up a town, build up a whatever. Then it'll be called Jamestown or whatever the fuck town, named after your, your ancestors, and then you kind of go build something up. That time's all done. And then everything's been centralized in America, really underneath the military industrial complex. The vast majority of America's GDP is spent on military spending, and it's got more military spending than like the next 3 or 4 countries. Actually, I think it might be more than the first 8 or 9 combined, but they've adjusted it because more countries are spending now. So I might not still apply. But I
And that's
remember,
prophecy being fulfilled in Joel. Where it says, let the weak say, I'm strong.
say I'm strong, yeah.
Because these other nations, basically, the Heavenly Father's called them onto the battlefront, and they're preparing themselves to destroy America. Right? Because America is going to be destroyed. It's a lake of fire spoken in the book of Revelation. That's the destiny of America. God says the Bible. Right? The Bible is a book that basically speaks of things that are to come. But it's hard to be understood unless someone basically breaks it down to you. That's why when you go into the book of Acts, you basically had that happen with the Ethiopian eunuch. He basically said, how can I understand this? So when Philip broke it down to him, he said he wanted to be baptized, right? But the point being is that all these things are happening according to the Bible.
Says what Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. And that's something that really in the mindset of everyone's trying to do. The whole reform and restore. They're basically trying to they're basically trying to resuscitate and put that life back into their systems, their kingdoms, their rulerships they've had back to a prior state they view as a state of glory. Because they're really trying to think, like, okay, we're trying to go back to how things were. We're gonna claim back, that greatness, that influence, that power. But then the reality of the matter is like you're not really gonna be able. It's not even possible for you to execute on those things, because it was co-signed by the Most High for you to even build up and develop yourself. There was a state of time where no matter what action you took, even if you should have destroyed your own self, you were still able to build up and establish yourself and have dominion over the earth. There was a point in time where no matter what you did, that dominion was going to be maintained. And that was because that's what the Most High had set up. It's for the sake of prophecy. There's no way that Esau could just be taken out of power in like 1790 and then Jake just take up and start ruling. Because as far as there's a whole bunch of prophecy that needs to be played out. Even the amount of time that Jake had to be in hardcore bondage, that needed to be played out. The development of America to where they even have the technologies to fulfill prophecy, man. The Wright brothers need to go through and make airplanes so that then, by the time of World War I, prophecy could be fulfilled. In Revelation 9. These are things where it's everything's basically within the palm of the Most High. So that's why it's like, even now, it's like, just in Egypt, man wanted to go down. In Babylon, man wanted to go down. In each of these different rulerships, these guys weren't thinking, okay, yeah, well, we got 20. Now you go for a history book, they're going to tell you, oh, this year to this year, this was going down. It was these guys were ruled, this king ruled from here to here. When they were in the midst of it, these guys were just, they were moving like they were gods on earth, man. Then when they had the dominion, they were loving life. They weren't trying to have that end. But the reality is as soon as their time was up, then it was a wrap. And that's the thing, it's the same thing here. The reason why it's like, you have to think, how is it even possible for there to be this much political upheaval just on a day-to-day basis. Even with America being at its end, you go back 10, 15 years, you were not hearing about as many like chaotic events and levels of confusion of things happening on a day-to-day basis. It might be like 2 or 3 weeks where you might not really hear about any big geopolitical scuffles going down. You might not hear about any big kind of scientific breakthroughs or whatever, or any kind of big economic shocks or things happening. But now it's like over the course of a week, it's like you move from one age to the next. As soon as prior to, it's like anytime one of these things happen, it just completely takes over to where it's impacting everything. The straight and foremost, the invasion of Iran, that came, it was man was still talking about Venezuela. Until a little while after, like, damn, this guy just went in and grabbed them up. Like, what's the ramifications of him being able to just, go and grab another country's leader, blah, blah, blah. But then the next thing's happening. So now everything's accelerating, everything's happening so intensely that people aren't even realizing how much of a change up it is. And it's why, because this place is basically meeting its end. Now's the time where everything's basically coming to its final point, man.
Yeah. It's the end. You got
It says what? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country.
right. Babylon goes back to the Tower of Babel. Right. Babel basically is, you hear the word in the English lexicon today, where it says, you're babbling on and on and on. Right? As you know, or if you don't know, the story of the Tower of Babel is basically if you go straight down and take a left at the traffic lights, a whole
It's going to be
it's gonna be a long time. Yeah, if you better off just jump on the train.
I want to get there.
There's a train station on the right hand side. You want to get a train? Bus?
because the thing is locked off, the bus is going to be on diversion.
No, but the bus. Oh, the road's locked off.
Yeah, right. The end.
So
So
you
you're
go
going to
straight, it goes to...
go straight to where the thingies are and then left.
All right.
And then take a bus down left.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah, I don't know. They're doing
Roadworks.
it's a crane, but I don't know what. You will see what it actually.
But yeah, so basically with the Tower of Babel, you had all the people come together of the world, and they basically wanted to build this was after the flood. So you had Nimrod, they basically built a tower and said, if it rains again, we want to be able to survive the flood. So they're all one people, they came with one mind, all right? And basically in doing so, that showed that the Heavenly Father, the angel basically said, like, the people be of one language and one speech, and this is what they do. So they confounded their language. So that within that story itself shows you that the Heavenly Father doesn't want all the nations mingling together. Because ultimately what it was is Nimrod, they're heaping all the nations onto themselves. Alright, so the Heavenly Father don't want that on this occasion, alright? Because this man is heaping all the people onto himself. Now, with that being said, the destruction that happened back then was just a confounding in language, and we're seeing it today, the confusion around the land, because the way the Heavenly Father ordained this place to be, is for everyone to be distinguished by their race and culture, alright? And that's how he designed it to be. But then guess what? With that being said, with all these nations mingling together, it's happened to a state of confusion, right? But then even if, and why I say confusion, even if they do align, like mentally, with one form of mindset or culture, it's really under who? The Western world, Western society. So that's why they're confused, because you ain't actually who you're meant to be.
It's not your origin.
That's not your origin, and in particular, we're dealing with the tribes. With Jacob.
Well, I was going to say with that guy that came up earlier, he was dealing with Egyptology. which is just a form of mysticism of the ancient that Esau was getting into,
Which really is a modern day
the interpretation of ancient, like it was their modern take on the ancient Egyptian forms of worship.
And where else are you gonna find that? Only in Babylon. Alright, so read that again, Bob. Sure.
Verse 9, Jeremiah 51 and 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one.
Right, so the Heavenly Father said he would have healed Babylon, but he's not lying to you basically. So if you lot holding, clutching at your pearls, hoping that this place basically goes on forever, the Heavenly Father ain't gonna make it go back to, you know, making America great again, reforming, restoring bread. All these places, this is by design, right? The elites of this world, they're dealing with globalization, right? They don't want the world to be, they don't want nationalists in the world, right? The only thing they're going to do with nationalists, they're going to leverage them for the globalization of the world, right? They're going to use them as a hill in their story, and then make it where, okay, all people should come to, you know, but in reality, that's not even going to happen. The Heavenly Father, once that gets into place, all right, that, what's his thing called? This man trying to build up his one world government. The Heavenly Father, like he said, we would have healed Babylon, but forsake her, yeah. Basically, there's a forewarning of what's to come, saying you should leave this place because what's to come is destruction. You know what I mean?
Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies.
All that cosplay is over, right? Because I saw an actual video where a guy was breaking down like a leftist type of mindset of people that move to New York. There's like a script they all read from when they come to New York, and they say like certain things about, you know, you got the same thing over here in London. Like, you know, if you want to be like a Londonite, there's certain subcultures that you get, or there's certain subcultures you get to. And that gives you validity as a Londoner. You know, if you know about drum and bass, or drum and bass, if you know about jungle, if you know about UKG, if you know about Grand, or if you know about Cockney rhyme slang, or you know about certain eateries or certain restaurants, certain things like that, basically authenticates you as a denizen of the
Particular place.
yeah. So basically, the guy was saying in New York, you know, he was breaking down how as an Elam woman with an accent, basically saying like, yeah, you know, like I can't stand that, you know, Metro, you know, what's your take? She said, I hate white hipsters, or something like that. It's like the guy was breaking it down and saying, this woman bugging, like she just moved here a couple of years ago. She's been here 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And now she's running the same script that everyone told her to basically to sleep. So, but then what's going to happen? Since they're going to forsake the land, they're going to say, fuck this shit. I'm going back to India. I'm going back to Africa. I'm going back to the Middle East. I'm going back to Turkey. I'm going to go back to Moldova. You know, those nations that ain't got a part in the battle, all right? And they're gonna basically live over there because they understand what's happening in Babylon. That it's not what all that glitters is not gold. It's a fool's gold. If you go there now, like New York, for example, is, you know, it ain't what it used to be. You're gonna have to spend an arm and a leg just to pay rent for a cardboard fucking box or even a cupboard in a fucking caretaker's building, you know? Oh, you got more?
Yeah, so for judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. See that place getting taken out, man. But that's the thing is all these events, we know what prophecies is culminating, which is, you know, the place is going to be done away with. That's really why it is, you know, it's vanity. It's pride to just, you know, be, nah, I'm just gonna, you know, people are in their own mindset thinking, oh well, I'm just going to continue as as I've been doing. I'm basically just going to receive the benefits of temporarily of this place. But then it's really you basically just not fully have those things revealed onto you, and that's really what you would need to have to be in that mindset. As far as, but that's the thing, is like when you deal with the different governments of the earth, these guys are really they're all together. They're in concert. They're working together, where they're thinking, okay, well, we're basically gonna move together for the sake of the plans of these elites. Man. They're basically like they've received their position, and they're working for the greater good, man. That's why people always talk about, why is it people that get certain positions, they'll then be like a police officer might pull them over, and they'll be like, oh, do you know I work for the state's attorney's office, or do you know I'm a police superintendent, whatever. They said there was one thing I was watching where it was like the police, not chief. I think maybe one of the lieutenants, maybe a chief actually, I'm not sure. But it was like this guy was smashed. Then they had footlight and he got caught by one of the other officers. So he was like smashed off his fucking face.
And one of them was getting onto him. I think he was a subordinate to him in terms of rank. Mm-hmm. But he was setting him right, saying, bro, you can't.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like,
yeah. Fucking up all the time.
And then I think they went through and they had like multiple times he's been found like drink driving, smashed off his face. But then there's like once you get a certain position, that's where you can operate within the system to a certain level. That's why it's like people get those MP positions, they get those like CEO positions or whatnot. They get brought in on a certain level.
Well, you had this guy that they've been looking for the past couple of years, the Battersea Bridge pusher or something like that. And they found out the guy was a multi-millionaire banker. High flying, slipper. And they basically found him out after 7-8 years. So that shows you the level of entitlement that he just pushed a random lady into the fucking bridge because he just felt like, move out my way. Mm-hmm. You old hat. She was a half decent looking woman. White woman as well. So it really shows you, man ain't sitting there thinking, oh yeah, a lot of people get hung up on that. It's classes, right? People in the highest classes look down on people in the lower classes, right? That's why it's quite funny with this whole thing with the restore and reform. You have them saying like, give me back my country. But the reality is, the people that sold you down the river are the elites of this country. Why? Because they benefit from bringing all these different people in from these different countries. And they actually prefer them. Because it's like, they don't, it's funny because even like
they work better as slaves.
There you go. Because there's one guy I work with, he does, there's something I do, a job I do at work. And like, there's certain things you're meant to do. Doing it as vague as possible. Certain things you're meant to do. And if you kind of know that the system blips and it's not really as deep as what it is. But my guy, he's like, he one of these heathen nations, fresh uncle. So he basically does everything by the book. And then him doing everything by the book is like, bro, it's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? Like you kind of gotta like, but I know why he's doing it is because obviously you don't want to get sacked because he's thinking like, I don't want these Esau to get on me. Do you know what I mean? So that's his whole thing. Like Esau can get rid of me, and he can. Because even me, I've done some shit where it's like, even recently, where I'm like, raw, that was like the dumbest shit ever. But you're not really thinking about it. And then afterwards you kind of realize like, shit, they can get rid of me if they wanted to, or disciplinary action, what have you. So the point being is that, these people, these elites at the top, they're in a whole different class. And this is why with this digital ID system they're going to implement, it's going to really be like clocking in time. It's going to be like in time. You're going to be, and this is why even now when you deal with certain benefits you get if you buy a house, it caps out at a certain price. because they don't want you to have access to certain neighborhoods, right? Whereas when you rent, the world's technically your oyster. If you can, use social capital in terms of like talk your way, because I've lived in a certain area where I know people are looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing in this area? But it's because the person that owned the property, I was cool with them and they just got me in that area. But in the way they want it is they want people of a certain status and class to be defined different in different areas.
That's something that like America was meant to be formed against that. But then obviously really look at the way things play out at the time, because their whole thing was, a king across the pond should be telling us, how to run our country. But then it's really just America was established as a tool. It was a whole as a bitch to be utilized. They'll establish it, set up for its purpose, utilize it, and then when it's done, then just blow it up.
I mean, they ain't gonna blow it up, but the Heavenly Father gonna blow it up. If they could, they'll have it going on forever and ever.
That's true.
Because the minds of the people, the way they're geared towards capitalism, is only beneficial to them.
I'll read this. Revelation 18:2 says, "And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Yeah, that's a big part of why everyone's even drawn into the system. They're really thinking like, damn, you can get rich, you can get a good life, you can get certain benefits. It's hot. It's a hot. It's steaming over here in the UK, Europe really, for the last few weeks. Have a little break in the middle, but you can go buy an AC unit. You can actually, those things. They're like all these little benefits. That's what people are kind of caught up on. They're thinking, oh, what's the latest model of the latest iPhone? They're thinking, okay, what's the latest release? From certain designers or whatnot, certain companies I might go to for clothing or whatnot, certain fashion houses. These are things they're looking at like, oh, these are all benefits to being in the system, and it's all within that system of capitalism. That's all means to make money. If you got a little idea, you got a niche, they're thinking like, okay, yeah, I can get in there, I can make some cash money. But then the reality of it is that's only running for a certain period of time.
That's what makes people stop, right?
Well,
sometimes.
What are you doing here?
Teaching the Bible.
Woo. Good luck, guys.
It says, "For sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High."
There was no reason.
Because I was just like,
I didn't say nothing that could actually be like,
they were generally positive, so it's just like,
I'm gonna tell you, ain't
it's like somebody we talk to, they're not even religious or whatever. It's like,
well, it might be Jake, but I don't know. It's just it wasn't.
there really wasn't no reason to engage in that kind of.
It wasn't given, as Jake said. It wasn't given no kind of.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm fucking tired as fuck.
I was thinking, well, I'm dehydrated as I said already.
I don't even know how, but it's like what it just hit me like out of nowhere. Because I've been on my feet as well for the past 2 days.
It's actually just heat stroke because I get that.
My leg hurts. Oh man.
So read a bit more, just
No, do read the last bit.
It says what? Verse 4, and it says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, And the Most High remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she has rewarded you, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double. Which how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore, and that's the other thing as well, is they really, Esau as far as is in a mindset where he's thinking like, he's even got to manage to delude himself to thinking the Most High is even behind what he's doing. You know, despite everything being built off, you know, the destruction of Jacob, of the chosen, you know, apple the Most High's eye, and then everything is established with that favor that's been shown to include wickedness. He's basically compounded and doubled down on everything that goes against what is taught in the scriptures, what you know, the means by which you're meant to conduct yourself. That's the opposite of how he conducts himself. But then because of that, that's why it's like, yeah, well, okay, this guy's gonna have to, you know, be taken out of the way. He can't be allowed. Because the reality is, if you know, if his days weren't shortened, there'll be no flesh left to be saved. And you can see like the vast majority of countries in the world, especially when you go to, you know, first world as they call it, all these different first world countries, the birth rate's way below replacement. You got a bunch of them where they're gonna die out in like 80 something years, 50 to 80 years. Then it'll be like they're just gonna die out, which you just think about is like ridiculous. Especially when it's something that like can be resolved. Like you don't even need to do anything artificial. Like a guy just nuts on a woman and it's okay, kids happen. Like most times, unless, you know, there might be hormonal issues, there might be something to it. But by and large, most times, you just cry for a bit and then it'll happen. So that really shows just how bugged out and backwards this place is. That you can even get to that point.
What about what's that?
Just having kids, yeah.
Only it's the Lord that tells you that in Wisdom of Solomon. Because when she speaks about, I know not how you come
In this moment, that's the thing. Second Maccabees.
Second Maccabees. So, Wisdom of Solomon speaks about that. Verbatim, but it said something. My mind is there.
One more verse. It says, therefore shall plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Most High power who judgeth her. Yeah, that's the thing, is the plagues have basically been set. And it's just as, you know, it says in Revelation, you know, the winds are being held back. As far as for, you know, America being swept off, that's something that can happen in the blink of an eye. It's going to happen within an hour. In 1 hour is that judgment going to come. That's why it's something where it's the winds are being restrained, man. That judgment, that destruction is being restrained.
Yeah. No, that's it. Goes up. Unless you got something else to say.
Nah, that's it.
I don't know what
Yeah, man.
happened.
Shalom.
Shalom.